boy out the car. Word. Had him in the car, made him gun butt him, recorded him, made him call it. May I bring the Jews in?
You can get touched, bro. They come up right now and just start drumming at us. We shooting back here. It's going to be a shootout, bro. But we got to kill somebody. You can get touched, bro. They come up right now and just start strap. That's not 6ix9ine changing, bro. That's 6ix9ine maturing, bro. And you get into your state, yo, bro, you can't be the king of New York because you did. Ain't no king getting violated, bro. Ain't no king getting strapped. That's not 6ix9ine changing, bro. That's 6ix9ine maturing, bro. And you get into your state, yo, bro, you can't be the king of New York because you did. Ain't no king getting violated, bro. Ain't no king getting Sarah moving around the car. I will, yo, bro, I will shoot Sarah. I tell you, I'm the one who raised her. Women, children, kids, no moving around. Sarah moving around the car. I will, yo, bro, I will shoot Sarah. I tell you, I'm the one who raised her. Women, children, kids, no moving around. Sarah moving around the car. I will, yo, bro, I will shoot Sarah. I tell you, I'm the one who raised her. Women, children, kids, no moving around. Sarah moving around the car. I will, yo, bro, I will shoot Sarah. I tell you, I'm the one who raised her. Women, children, kids, no moving around. Sarah moving around the car. I will, yo, bro, I will shoot Sarah. I tell you, I'm the one who raised her. Women, children, kids, no.
So Complex dropped the leaked audio of the July 26th conversation between a whole load of the nine Trey Bloods, Jamel Jones, Mel Murder, all of them lot. The leaked tapes have been dropped, and Shotti, I'm in two worlds. Academics has come out, DJ Ack has come out and essentially said that Shotti wasn't sending for Tekashi. It wasn't that, he was actually defending Tekashi. Listen, the bottom line is, whatever way you want to look at this, it was a whole bunch of wannabe ass looking ass dudes trying to play games they weren't made for, trying to play games they shouldn't have been involved in, because ultimately, either way, Shotti was good at shooting things up, was good at shooting and doing stupidness, but when it came to the 15-year bid, he was good at talking about, yeah man, we don't bend, we don't break, it's Treyway. He was good at all that goofy ass looking stuff, but when it came to the 15-year bid, what happened? In my ball, in my cry like baby, simple. Now that said, people can get sour and say, oh, you'd cry like a baby as well. You're damn right I would. But that's why I keep my ass at home. My ass don't leave the yard. Full stop. Never mind all this business, letting guns off, driving around, kidnapping, talking about killing this, talking about extorting that. Leave it where it is. You best believe. I'll put my hands in the air right now. If I ever get 15 years, I will be crying. I am not about it. You best believe, if I ever get sent down, I will be snitching. 100%. But that's why I don't involve myself. There will be no... It's impossible for me to snitch because I won't involve myself in that situation. But you best believe, if I ever do involve myself in a situation, I will take responsibility for my action. But that said, like I say, I won't be involved in it. Simple. I don't want to be snitching. I don't want to be put in a situation where I have to do 15 years or I have to snitch. Just keep out of it. If you're not about, I know myself well. Too many people these days, they don't know themselves. They think they're they get too gassed. They think they're something they're not. Shotti thought he was something he wasn't. Yeah, and we can all be. It's really easy to be the hammer. This day and age, people they act like hammers. They go around letting guns off and shooting at people. That's easy to do. It's fun, exciting. But that said, when it comes to the punishment, no one wants to do. No one finds the punishment so exciting. No one finds the punishment so much fun anymore. All the fun out of it's gone. But you've got to be thinking about that when you're doing the actions. And let's get it right. People say, "Oh man, well you don't know his upbringing." Shotti was a 30, 40, 40-year-old man, was he not? Big hard back man, and that's actually why I take a level of responsibility away from Tekashi. Tekashi was 17, 18 years old. A very impressionable Mexican kid growing up in a predominantly black area. And not that that's relevant, but just to say that he was impressionable. He had these 9 Trey Bloods who, if you're from that set of life, that lower class set of life as such, that hood life, of course Tekashi was going to be looking up to the 9 Treys. Do you know what they should have done though? Mel Murder, Jim Jones, rather than talking about, yeah man, we're gonna super violate Tekashi, what they should have done is, he said, you know what? Mel Murder, my music career's half dead. Jim Jones, my music career's half dead. Why don't I start putting some investment into this youth and try and give him some of my knowledge and try and get a piece of the pie? Instead, you man was on some next flex trying to extort him. Where's the brain? Where was the brains in the operation here? No wonder they were called 9 Trade Bloods. No wonder they're known as street gangs. If these dudes were any more than street gangs, they would have leveraged the potential. I think Tekashi's $100 million cash cow at least. That's how big he could have been to them. Instead now they're looking at 15 years. Instead now Mel Murder's crying, sending letters to the judge. Oh, please, judge. I'm sorry, judge. Begging the judge. You could have been on road setting up successful businesses on the back of this young impressionable cat. Instead, everyone's just trying to. It's like people are addicted to the hype. You were more interested in running extortion and, yeah, man, I'm going to super violate him. And what makes me laugh is these people like Jim Jones and Mel Murder, they have kids of their own. I wonder how they would feel if a big, hardback, 50-year-old man was talking about violating their kids. I bet they'd have a problem with it. And this is the problem. There's not enough empathy in this game, or in the world in general. People are very good at doing badness to other people's children and other people's family, but when it comes to their own, they wouldn't have it. If people started treating others as they wish to, if everyone treated other people as they would like their own children to be treated, the world would be a much better place. And this is the best example of it. And what makes it sad is the fact that these 9 Trade Bloods, same as the Crips, they all talk about it being a family unit. They all talk about it being a point of strength, but all I see is a whole bunch of stupidness. Bottom line, you've got the Crips fighting the Bloods. Never mind that. You've got the Bloods fighting the Bloods. You've got the 9 Trades all extorting, Shotti talking about getting back and all this business. Complete madness. And I'm sorry, people like to blame, too much in my opinion, people like to blame the white man for the problems of our communities. Simple. You've got to start, so you can't keep blaming everyone else. At some point, you've got to start taking responsibility for your actions. At some point, you've got to come together. Why have we even got Crips and Bloods running around? What's wrong with these people? What good has ever come from a Crip or a Blood? Seriously, what good has it come of it? I mentioned in my other video, whenever stuff kicks off, whenever there's injustice, whenever an innocent person is shot down by a federal agent or whatever, whenever an innocent person is shot or abused by a police officer, all the Bloods and the Crips are nowhere to be found. Where are they all when you need them? Where are all these ruthless roadmen? Where are all the ruthless knife men? Where are they at? Nowhere to be found. They're on the street. Oh man, this is wrong. They've got their what's the word? They've got their signs out there. They're walking, protesting. Where's all the gangsters? They're nowhere to be found. When you need gangsters, they're nowhere to be found. And that's the problem with this community. It's too easy. When they're killing each other, when they're doing all this stupidness, you got the Mel Murder, 50-year-old man, ringing up, talking about super violating. What's wrong with these guys? We've got nothing better to do. And what makes me laugh is, now he's sent to jail, he's talking about how he wants to spend time with his kids. Why weren't you thinking about that at the time instead of chasing around a 20-year-old Mexican don, trying to super violate him? What's that about? Weird, proper weird situation. So like I say, in this Shotti situation, I'm not sure either way. From the wiretaps, I'm on the fence. It could be that he was trying to protect Tekashi, but certain things he said when he mentioned about how Tekashi ain't a king and Tekashi can't be a king if he's dead. He didn't sound as if he was talking about Tekashi in the third person. He wasn't. If he was because he wasn't talking to Tekashi on the phone. That makes sense. You wouldn't say the word Tekashi if he was on the phone with you. You'd say you. As an example, Shotti didn't say you won't be a king if you're dead. That's what he should have said if he was talking to Tekashi. But the fact he mentioned Tekashi's actual name, i.e. Tekashi, that says he's on the phone to a third party. So which implies to me that it sounds like he was talking about getting back at Tekashi. It's all anyway. Either way, the problem is it's too much time spent on the bickering and back and forths. End of the day, the whole lot of it had no positivity about it by any means or in any capacity. It was all a big joke, and now everyone's. And I wouldn't mind. as I also said in my earlier video, I actually don't mind street people who are actually about their business, or who are about it, who are truly ruthless. If you are truly ruthless, yeah, and you don't care about nothing, then you fair play to you, no problem. But these dudes, when they get sent down, they've all of a sudden they start crying, and they start repenting, and they start pleading and sending letters to judges and whatnot, which really shows you weren't really about it. You was good at giving it out. You was good at being the hammer. No good. Yeah? Unless you're really about it, then don't be about it at all. Because it don't bring no goodness anyway. You could have had $100 million asset in Tekashi, and now you're all in jail, you're all crying, and it's all come to pot. And let's get it right. Tekashi, I've said it myself, Tekashi's going to be back on road in 2 months. Tekashi's going to be back on road. He ain't going to be the one that's hurting from it, and rightly so. Tekashi shouldn't be the one, because in his defense, he's only 20 years old. He's young and up and coming. It's not his problem that you old cats couldn't help yourself. You old cats too busy trying to relive what you should. Listen, you 50, 40, 50, 30-year-old men, you should have left that behaviour 10, 20, 30 years ago. The fact you're still playing around tells me you probably ain't going to learn your lesson, and therefore you need the prison sentence. Tekashi doesn't need it. He can learn from this. Now, don't get me wrong. If in 10 years' time, Tekashi, even if in 5 years' time, Tekashi is still playing around in this street business and he hasn't learned his lesson, then fair play to you. Take him down. But in my opinion, having seen, I think, the last 2 or 3 weeks before Tekashi got brought in, I remember he did an interview, I think maybe with Breakfast Club or Hot 97, one of them ones there. He came in the week before he got sent in, and he said, listen, I'm done with Treyway, I'm done with all that stuff, I'm concentrating on my business. He cut everyone off. Now that says to me that he's making a step in the right direction. Now time will tell. In December, when he's released, let's see how he gets on. If he goes back to the stupidness and starts letting off guns and whatnot, and he hasn't learnt his lesson, then you best believe the feds don't mess about. He'll be going straight back to jail. So let's see how it goes on. Bottom line is, these 50-year-old men, they clearly hadn't learnt their lesson. They've been through all this many times before and still going back to it. They need to be in jail. Anyway, let me know what you guys think.